I do actually vividly remember going outside and playing at the Cuddle Zone because we used to always play like tag and stuff. And also I remember in front of the Cubbies learning how to tie my shoe.
It helped me being able to ask questions easier. I wasn't afraid to ask what to do. Already knowing the teachers and faculty, discipline was easier, learning stuff was easier, and it made everything just flow.
It gets the basics down and you like learn how to learn, kind of. I'm going to Kutztown University. Well, I just always liked space and stuff, so that's like the minor in astronomy, but like I was thinking that there's not too many jobs in astronomy, so it would probably be better to major in physics and get like really good at that. And then, you know, with the minor in astronomy, then you can have the two of them together and get like some kind of job with that, you know.
For Josh, I feel like pre-K gave him the opportunity to really learn some great social skills and to get set up for success in that respect. Knowing that he was in a safe space and with really great people who had, you know, all of the clearances and background checks and all of the safety precautions in place. And then not only that, but were highly educated to provide him with those lesson plans and those materials and those learning activities was what was really important to me.
There was an incredible science that showed why pre-K was valuable for children.
A child's brain develops is developed 85% by the time they're 5 years old. So their ability to share, take turns, and follow directions is almost cemented in place. And so being exposed to a high-quality pre-kindergarten experience not only supports such things as early literacy skills, but the social-emotional skills are so critically important.
We wanted to pose the idea. We wanted political leadership and community leadership across Pennsylvania to reflect on it and to see the virtue of that connection, that Pennsylvania would be stronger, not just in an academic sense, but ultimately in an economic performance sense.
In 2001, and Schweiker took over, he was a believer. He immediately initiated the Keystone Stars program, which was all about improving quality. And he formed a Blue Ribbon Committee, which in fact left the blueprint for the Rendell administration to act on, and that's how we got pre-K counts.
When I took over, Pennsylvania was one of only 9 states not to provide a single dollar for any pre-K education. And we wanted significant dollars, almost $250 million allocated to full-day kindergarten and pre-K.
So I called some of our child care providers who I was familiar with into a meeting and said, this is the thing that we've been talking about that we have not been able to do because we don't have resources. We need to do this. What do you think? And they said, oh my Lord, of course we do.
During the legislative session itself, Governor Rendell was very committed to making sure that we got a state pre-K program.
We can't minimize the efforts that it takes in order to move an issue. And it's significant that you have evidential base right now today that you can point to as an example of when you make these strategic investments and what these strategic investments will mean and what they will do.
In the very early days, as we were getting things ready, there were a lot of things that we tried to pay attention to be able to make this program shine.
So when I was the executive director of what is now Trying Together, it was early in my tenure, and it was just very obvious from across the country, seeing what was happening in other states through a national campaign called Pre-K Now, that it was important that Pennsylvania needed to invest in high quality pre-K.
The Pre-K Today campaign that led to Pre-K Counts certainly was the foundation in Pennsylvania for what we now have. And going forward, as I said, we have to build on it. We have to ensure that all children get into the program who are at risk particularly, but all children should have access to high quality childcare.
So we worked with people like James Heckman and PNC, Jim Rohr, to really have the numbers to say, you will get a return on investment.
It's advocacy. It's the loudest voice in the legislature. It's the votes. It's the contributions to the campaigns. It's getting the corporations behind us and the leadership in our communities. They have to stand with us. It can't be early childhood people standing by themselves, because unfortunately, children still don't have that kind of status in this country that maybe they should. And it's up to all of us to be a voice for children.
Pre-K for PA, in my view, represents this very spirited army of knowledgeable advocates across 67 counties, and greatly powered every day by caring parents, moms and dads who know in their home the power of giving a book to a child or reading to a child, and multiply that a million times in terms of dynamic effect and impact.
I think the Pre-K campaign has been a phenomenal asset for building Pre-K counts in Pennsylvania. I think that I use it as an example all around the country for the work that I do of what can happen when people have focus, when they have determination, and when they really come together for the long haul.
You're getting them an education, you're getting them a head start on their whole education process. They go into kindergarten in a better situation. From kindergarten, they go into first grade and second grade and third grade, and those are the formative years. If you lose those formative years, you're going to have a child that is not going to be doing as well and could easily turn the wrong direction, go down the wrong road.
So it's in all our interest, whether we have kids who are school age or not, or grandkids that are school age. Even if you have no kids at all, it's in your interest to make sure kids get the opportunity, get the tools to learn to achieve every single iota that their ability can get them to achieve.
They go into preschool, and that's when they learn everything. They start learning everything. They start learning how to be social with other children. They start learning how to write. They start learning how to talk. They start learning, everything, being physical, climbing, all that. They learned that then. The children that I've known that are actually in high school now they're doing much better than a lot of other children I know that didn't go to pre-K. So pre-K is a good foundation for these children.
Children are the most precious resource in a community, and I think that everybody needs to take ownership of them so that they have opportunities to do whatever they want to do in their life. And it begins with high quality pre-K experiences.
This is something that should be across the entire nation. So what better place could you point to than Pennsylvania?
I'm really emotional because, a lot of children where I'm from, didn't have didn't have the opportunity to go to pre-K or anything like that. Kindergarten was the only option. And a lot of teachers, they was crammed into, one classroom. Now this opportunity is like, them just starting that, it made a big difference. Let's just continue to make a difference.
Every group of students that doesn't get it is going to be left behind.
It's our responsibility, I believe, to serve all children.
Let's work together for the good of younger Pennsylvanians.